Hello and welcome to Taylor Talks Comics. My name is Taylor, and this is one of my favorite episodes of Taylor Talks Comics that I like to record. I'm going to do about 3 times a year, and it's when FANTAGRAPHICS puts out a new catalog. FANTAGRAPHICS is my all-time favorite comics publisher. They run the whole gamut of everything I love about comics, from new up-and-coming cartoonists doing graphic novels, as well as classic comics from back in the day, and just preserving that comic book history. But yes, please, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I am on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and I need your help. My goal is to hit 3,000 by the end of this year. And also give the video a thumbs up and comment down below with any of your thoughts on any of the books we covered today. Answer any questions I have, correct anything I got wrong, or just to let me know which books you're excited about. I love to talk to you guys about that. I reply to all comments. And commenting and giving the video a thumbs up, like those things help the YouTube algorithm put my videos in front of the eyeballs of people that don't know my channel exists. So that goes a long way in helping keep the channel up and going and thriving. But yeah, so let's get to the catalog. This is the summer 2025 catalog for FANTAGRAPHICS. So these books will be coming out from May through, I think, August are the months that we're covering today. So I'm going to share my screen now. Make sure that's looking good on the screen for you guys. All right, looks good. All right, so this is the front cover image of the catalog. And up first, let's see if I can zoom in. I don't know. I'm trying to get this right here. Bear with me. I'm trying to make sure this looks good on the screen for you guys. All right, that looks good. Okay. No, wait, no. Hold on a second. Okay, every time I go back, it looks good though. All right, so up first we have Peanuts All Year Round Mini Collection by Charles M. Schulz. This is a box set that collects 5 hardcovers. There we go. I can see better now. It's $29.99 and 5 hardcovers slipcase. These are 328 pages total for all 5 combined. It'll be black and white, 5.9 inches by 5.9 inches. So they're square shaped. And you can see here on the right. So Peanuts have been collected a number of different ways over the years. Obviously, when they first debuted in the newspaper, they're landscape sized, with the 4 panels in a horizontal fashion. But then they've been like those strips have been cut up and reorganized for different formats, of like small paperbacks and things. So these are square shaped, so they're putting all 4 panels on one page, like you can see in that preview image there. But these are all themed by holidays and seasonal things. So this is a really good gift box set for anybody that you know that's a fan of Snoopy or Peanuts, Charlie Brown. There's a These are the 5 books that are included: A Valentine for Charlie Brown, Batter Up Charlie Brown, Waiting for the Great Pumpkin, Snoopy's Thanksgiving, and Charlie Brown's Christmas Stocking are the 5 that are included. So these have been previously released, and now you're getting them in a nice box set for only $29.99. It's a good deal there. Here's some more preview images. And then up next we have Raging Clouds by Yudori. This is a Korean cartoonist with her manga style. I believe all of her previous works have been in webcomics. This is her first physical release. And it says, in this period drama set in the 16th century Netherlands, the unlikely pair of proper Dutch woman and her husband's slave mistress collaborate on a scientific discovery that could free them from the bounds of patriarchal society. The print debut of Korean manga artist Yudori is a richly imagined erotic feminist graphic novel. This will be $34.99, 364 pages, black and white, 6.5 inches by 9 inches. So close to like tankobon sized, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And here's some preview artwork. It looks really magnificent. And I've never read anything by Yudori. Let me know in the comments if you have. Like I said, she previously has done all webcomics. This is her first physical release. Evergreen Review, Dispatches from the Literary Underground, covers and essays from 1957 to 1973, edited by Pat Thomas. The Evergreen Review was the magazine of the Beat Generation, and it returns in this awe-inspiring compilation of the art, essays, and photography of the avant-garde Evergreen Review. So this is a pop culture underground magazine that came out in those 16 years, and this is kind of the best of collection, collecting a lot of the photography and articles and things. This will be $34.99, 320 pages, full color, 9 by 12 inches, which is magazine trim sized. And my early 20s, I collected I subscribed to 10 to 12, I don't know, a bunch of different music magazines, like Music Culture and Music, the music scene was my kind of thing that I was into, my hobby, and discovering new bands and just being, tapped into that whole scene. I've never read Evergreen Review though, but I'm very much excited to pick this up because you think about magazines were such a big part of our periodical culture, like a mediums. Periodical medium. Sorry, I can't talk. But where are they ever preserved? They're never you never see those come back up in these kinds of greatest hits collections. So it's really cool that we're getting this to preserve that history. Disney Epic Mickey, the comics collection by Peter David, Paolo Matura, Claudio Cicerone, Fabrizio Petrosi. So Epic Mickey is the video game series. I think it's Nintendo Wii through Nintendo Switch era of systems. Let me know in the comments if I've never played these before, but I think there are more modern Mickey games. And these are the comic book adaptations that are adapted by Peter David and then the artists Matura, Cicerone, and Petrosi. This will be $29.99 for a hardcover, 176 pages, and it'll be 7.8 by 10.6 inches. And you can look at the preview art here, and it looks just magnificent. Really cool modern Disney art. And Fantagraphics has a long, rich history in collecting Disney comics. So it's really cool. Up next, we have The Woman with 50 Faces by John Lackman and Zachary James. This is a historical biography. It's a revelatory biographical graphic novel chronicling the elusive life of the tumultuous times of Maria Lanni. And the pairing here, Lackman and Pinson, I'm not familiar with either of their works, but it looks like Lackman has written previously about Maria Lanni, and Pinson has a long history of dabbling in comics as well as fine arts. So it's a really interesting release. It looks like it's all done in pencil etchings too. So intriguing. This one's really cool. Night Drive by Richard Sala. This is Richard Sala's one of his first comics work that was previously only released in 1984 as a self-published endeavor. Has not been reprinted since. And we have Dana Marie Andra editing this. She's the lady that put together or edited the Web of Horror collection that Fantagraphics put out last year. It collected the first 3 issues of, well, I guess the only 3 issues of Web of Horror, as well as the what would have been the 4th issue. Dana edited that one, and now she's working on this one. And then Daniel Klaus is the one that designed this package, this book, the book design and everything like that. So it's really cool because Klaus was a friend of Richard Sala before his tragic passing in 2020. And this will be 8.5 inches by 11. It'll be 64 pages for $19.99. And the preview art here looks really great. So if you're not familiar with Richard Sala's incredible macabre signature style of artwork, it's great to see. I've never read this before, and to see these preview pages, I can tell that it's very much not as polished as his later works, like Chuckling What's It, which was his last release of Fantagraphics, which I think was released posthumously. So it's great to see that evolution of the cartoonist artwork. I'm always a fan of seeing the cartoonists early works, middle works, and later works to kind of see that evolution of their art throughout their careers, and this is going to be a good way to do that. So that is Night Drive by Richard Sala, and this is still in May. We're still in May for the releases here. Arsene Schrauwen by Olivier Schrauwen. Utopia comes with a price in this new 10th anniversary paperback edition of the acclaimed comedic graphic novel inspired by the author's mid-century colonialist grandfather. So Olivier Schrauwen, I'm butchering that name. Please let me know in the comments how to pronounce it. But Olivier released Sunday earlier this year with Fantagraphics to much acclaim. I still didn't get my hands on a copy of that because I've been wanting to read it ever since I've been hearing nothing but good things about it. And this will be the next release with Fantagraphics for Olivier's work. This will be $29.99 paperback, and this is the 10th year anniversary collection. So this is older works of his. It'll be 7.6 by 9.45 inches in paperback. Did I say that? But seeing the preview images, you can see Olivier has this very vast range of not only art style, but also coloring techniques. So that alone is intriguing enough that I want to pick this up. Great use of like watercolors and pen and ink, it looks like. So don't want to pick that up. And then another cartoonist that had a release with Fantagraphics earlier this year is getting another one. And that's Guy Colwell. Guy Colwell previously released Delights, a story of Hieronymus Bosch, and that came out earlier this year. This is Go Figure, Figurative Social Surrealist Paintings. This is a monograph, an art book. It'll be $29.99 hardcover, 96 pages, full color, 11 by 11 inches. And you can see the surrealist artwork by Guy Colwell here. Looks like on the right facing page, we're going to get the painting. And then on the left facing page, you'll get the title of the painting, the actual dimensions of what the painting is in real life, and a little description of that. So really cool collection. And now we have another Peanuts collection. This is Game Day box set by Charles M. Schultz. This will be 4-volume hardcover slipcase, $65, 828 pages, black and white, and it looks like it's landscape format. So the one I talked about earlier was like the holiday seasonal type deal. This one is all about the sports strips of Peanuts collected together, which these are really good ideas because like the Peanuts hardcovers by Fantagraphics, which are magnificent, a huge, magnificent line that they put out. There's like 30 volumes of those, I think, which can take a lot of shelf space up. So maybe you have a Peanuts fan in your life, but they don't have the shelf space, or maybe they're not like a big comic book collector and you want to kind of give them something cool to get them into comics, a good gateway comic. These collections could be really good for that purpose. And like I said, these are collecting all the strips from like baseball, football, golf, tennis, basketball, ice skating, hockey, and that sort of thing. And here's the preview. So this one's kept in landscape format. I don't know if I said that or not, but this is not square format. So these are as they were originally printed in the newspaper. This one might be the one I'm most excited about. I don't know. There's a lot of books in this catalog I'm excited about, but this one for sure. Nancy Wears Hats by Ernie Bushmiller. This is the first volume in a new series collecting Ernie Bushmiller's timeless and beloved Nancy. I love that because it says first volume in a new series. So Fantagraphics previously released Ernie Bushmiller's Nancy strips in like really nice looking hardcovers, but those are way out of print and like way overpriced if you like try to shop for them on eBay. I know because I've been hunting them down for a good price and I've not been able to find them. So I'm really glad they're re-releasing these. These are, looks like a whole new design to these, and they will be paperback. The first one will be $24.99, 216 pages, and it's about 8.5 inches by 7.75 inches. And this is in June, by the way. We're in June now. And Nancy by Ernie Bushmiller. I love Nancy strips by John Stanley, which were like comic book issues. But the Nancy strips by Ernie Bushmiller, Nancy by is it Olivier Jaimes or James? I forget how to pronounce the person that's doing it in modern day, but they're hilarious. But Bushmiller had a really great. He used like just enough space, like lines and artwork. It had like a very simplistic art style, but it went a long way in his cartooning and really played with the format of comics in a big way. If you see like on these preview images, kind of breaking the fourth wall sometimes, which I feel like is a trite description these days. I feel like when people say break the fourth wall, they immediately think like Deadpool or something, but really playing with the format and doing a lot of good fun wordplay and things. I just cannot wait to get my hands on this and read these strips. This is another great one. So this is Carl Barks, Donald Duck Finds Pirate Gold. This is a complete Carl Barks Disney Library Volume 1. So far to date, I think we're getting close to 30 total volumes of the Carl Barks Library. Huge fan of this series. I have a video on my channel showing off every Carl Barks hardcover so far. I think that video I released earlier this year, and I think since then, as of the recording of this video in November 2024, we have had 2 more released. So I still need to pick those up, but I'll update that video every time we get a few books in. I can update it every single time we get a new book in, but we're getting close because they've been releasing these out of order as well, kind of hitting the high points, high notes of the Carl Barks strips before we get to the earlier stuff. So like, for instance, the first one they ever released was volume 5 of the series. And that was in 2011. And just in recent years, they've been starting to pump out volumes 1 through 4. This is volume 1. So now we'll have in succession volumes 1 through, I think it's like 28 to 30. I forget what volume number we're at now. But this is the earliest Carl Barks stuff. So like what I talked about earlier with seeing a artist or cartoonist art progress from beginning of their career to middle to end, we'll be able to do that now with these hardcovers. And don't be intimidated by the fact that there's like almost 30 of these. You can pick up any of these volumes and start anywhere they are. These were made back when comics could be picked up off the racks at any point, even though you've never read a Donald Duck book, and you can still enjoy them. They're hilarious comics, like they're funny, and they're also some of the best adventure comics you'll read in places. This one will be $39.99, 240 pages, full color, same trim size as all the other ones. And here's some preview image. No, it's not preview images. Your preview is on the right there. Still in June, we have The Devil's Grin, Volume 1 by Alex Graham. So Alex Graham previously released Dog Biscuits with Fantagraphics. That was a reprint because she self-published the thick collection in a paperback, and then Fantagraphics packaged it as a hardcover and re-released it. So this is Alex Graham's second release with Fantagraphics, and this is Devil's Grin Volume 1. It doesn't say what issues this collects. I do know that Alex Graham just recently, like in the last week or so, released issue 6 of Devil's Grin. She's been self-publishing these on her website. So it's great to have a collection of these now. Shout out to Psycho Cleveland. He actually sent me the first 3 or 4 issues, I think, of Devil's Grin. I need to show these off on my channel. And they're originally, like, the single issues are like magazine trim size. This book, though, is 6 inches by 9 inches. So it's an interesting format because I think that might actually be the same as Dog Biscuits as far as trim size goes. It'll be $34.99, and it'll be paperback. 420 pages. So there's a big, thick collection. And I don't know what issues this collects. I don't know if this will be 1 through 5 or 6 or what that'll be. But when I get this in, when it eventually does come out, I'll do a comparison to the single issues as well. Really, really fun collection. And it's basically just Alex Graham working all of her whims of what she likes in comics and genre. Like anything, this is right here. Comedy, horror, magical realism, anthropomorphism, naturalism, humor, psychedelia, and pathos. So it's just like everything, the whole gamut of what Alex Graham wants to do in comics. A true one cartoonist anthology. You can see some more preview images there. Up next, we have The Wrestler by John Ken Mortensen. This is the 4th release for John Ken from Fantagraphics. You can see previously there was Nightmare Factory, Night Terror, and Christmas Bestiary. I love these Fantagraphics catalogs, by the way. When they include like the previously released ones, it really helps you put all this into context, especially when you're trying to do videos like this. Shout out to Tucker Stone, by the way. Tucker Stone sent this out to me through email, and he's my contact there that I've been working with. It's been really, really great getting to know Tucker and Fantagraphics and building this kind of relationship with them of trying to show off their awesome books. But I digress. This will be $22.99 hardcover, 80 pages, black and white, 8 by 10 inches. And you see this incredible black and white artwork and cartooning. I've yet to pick up a John Ken Mortensen book, but I need to. Like his style, I can tell is right up my alley. The subject matter here of The Wrestler is right up my alley as well. I grew up loving professional wrestling from before I can remember all the way until like probably my 30s, I think is when I finally kind of got out of but I still love classic wrestling and the history behind it. But the great lettering and cartooning in these preview images, yeah, I know I'm going to love that one. The Atlas Comics Library, Volume 7, Girl Comics. This has works by Stan Lee, Al Hartley, Bill Everett, Russ Heath, Ann Brewster, and Bernard Krigstein, and more. So the Atlas Comics Library, I've shown off a couple of these on my channel. I think actually I've shown Adventures of them to Tear Off, and then next Monday I'll be showing off War Comics, which is Volume 4. But these are great. So if you're not familiar, Marvel Comics, before it was Marvel Comics, before Fantastic Four #1, it was called Atlas Comics in the 50s. So all the 50s era Marvel stuff is what is being reprinted by Fantagraphics through the Atlas Comics Library. This is the 7th release. You'll see another one in this catalog later. And this is collecting Girl Comics issues 1 through 12. Which are romance and teenage melodrama type comics. This will be $49.99, 336 pages, full color, and it'll be the same trim size as volumes 2 through 6. Volume 1 was a little bit different as far as the trim size goes, but the rest have been the same. But romance comics has a rich history in comics, especially in this era. So like Jack Kirby and Joe Simon are credited with the invention or the creation of romance comics. And when they were pumping them out, they were selling like 200 to 300,000 copies per issue. Like, it was a huge tradition, very popular with like housewives and young girls at the time of the 50s era. You can imagine the stereotypes that we know from like movies and things back then. But then the Comics Code Authority came about because of all the EC Comics stuff. I talked about that a million times on my channel. But when that happened, the Comics Code Authority really had all the publishers that survived that really geared towards only focusing on the demographic of young boys, and romance comics kind of died out there through the 60s. But they have a rich tradition before that. I'm excited to read this because anytime I get a chance to read these romance comics, they're really, really great stuff and very underrated in comics history. So this will be a good one to pick up. And this is there'll be a Dr. Michael Vassallo introduction to these, which are amazing. He's like the go-to historian of Atlas Comics, and his essays before these collections, because they're like 10 plus pages long to start off the collection, are amazing reads. He's such a great writer, but also puts all this historical context in there. And then you'll have the restoration by Alan Harvey, who restores these to look as close to the original comics as possible. You get to see by the preview images there. They look really great. And then in June, we have the Idris File by Dix. I'm not familiar with Dix. I've never read his work. I guess he has a previous release with Fantagraphics called Dull Margaret, which I've never heard of. I don't know how that went off my radar. It's rare that there's a Fantagraphics release that I've never even seen before, but I digress. This is the latest release. And this is about an awkward young man discovers that his quiet seaside Welsh town harbors Nazi horrors in its haunted cemeteries, making for a historical graphic novel thriller that reads like the Banshees of Inisherin meets the Raiders of the Lost Ark. This will be $24.99 hardcover, 132 pages, full color, 7.4 by 10.3 inches. Really, really fun cartooning there. I'll be interested to pick that one up. Caravaggio, The Palette of the Sword, Book 2 by Milo Manara. Milo Manara is the incredible painter and artist of comics. $19.99 for this paperback. It'll be 9.25 inches by 12.25, so it'll be oversized. Perfect to see this great artwork. And just look at this thing. Like, any one of these panels could be put up on a wall in a museum. But it's so great that Milo Manara graced us with his presence with comics. Hate Revisited by Peter Bagge. Legendary cartoonist Peter Bagge triumphantly returns to the series that defined a generation with this all-new Hate graphic novel. I can't wait to pick this up. Peter Bagge is one of my all-time favorite cartoonists. I have every one of his collected works in hardcover, paperbacks, whatever. And this is him revisiting, as you can imagine with the title there, the characters of Buddy Bradley and the gang from the Hate comic series that lasted 30 issues plus, I think, 10 annuals afterwards. That's all been collected by Fantagraphics in a three-volume hardcover box set. I've done an overview of that on my channel. I've done an overview of Neat Stuff as well. It's another box set the Fantagraphics released. And I think I have some other Peter Bagge videos. I think there's a playlist on my channel. But this is just a regular trade paperback collecting all 4 issues of Hate Revisited, which are new comics that Peter Bagge has done in the last year or so, released in single issues. Now we're getting the collection. It'll be 112 pages, $19.99. And the black and white, it's like both black and white and color. The black and white are flashbacks of the era where the Hate comics took place. And then the color comics, which you can see on the preview image here, are of present day Buddy Bradley. So we're going to see Buddy Bradley and all these characters in the present day dealing with the things that are happening in the real world today, which is amazing. I can't wait to figure out how that works out. Brain Damage by Kago. So I did 31 days of horror comics on my channel throughout October. One of my videos that I did was for Dimension 21, which you can see there at the bottom right of the screen. 2 beautiful collections of Kago previously released by Fantagraphics, and they're both in print, and they did a box set of them. So check those out. Check out my video if you wanted to see what they're all about. But this description here is perfect. So it's for the brilliant and twisted mind of manga artist Shintaro Kago, a new collection of short stories rife with skin-crawling suspense, visceral body horror, and pitch-dark humor. I couldn't have described Kago better myself. But this will be a hardcover, $29.99, 200 pages. Looks like 7.1 by 10.2 inches. Just look at the imagery there. of the visceral body horror they described. But yes, pitch dark humor as well. Like these stories are so absurd and so over the top in their horror that they can be comedic at times. It's very strange, but it's what I love about comics. They're so weird and wonderful. Now in July, we have My Gun is the Jury and the Other Stories by Jack Davis and Wally Wood. I have a lot of videos on my channel showing off these EC artist library from Fantagraphics. This is the latest. This will be volume 39. Volume 38 will be Spawn of Venus, which is Wally Wood's sci-fi stories. That comes out spring of 2025. But before that, the first 37 volumes, I owned them, and I showed off a video during October where I showed them all 37 off and talk about what makes this collection great, or this series great. This one is awesome because this is collecting the stories from the comic Panic. So EC came out with Mad Magazine, or Mad, it was just called Mad when it was a comic book. And it was so popular that they put a second comedic parody satire comic book out called Panic. And this is collecting stories from Jack Davis and Wally Wood that were featured in there. This will be $39.99, 280 pages, black and white, same trim size as all the rest. Jack Davis, I've talked about on my channel, amazing cartoony comedic artist, but Wally Wood is underrated in that genre. Wally Wood is mostly known for sci-fi, which by all means he should be, because his sci-fi stuff was just magnificent, but his comedic stuff was great too in the early Mad comics. Society is Nick's Gleeful Anarchy at the Dawn of the American Comic Strip, 1895 through 1915, revised edition. So this was previously released by Sunday Press. We are getting a revised edition by Fantagraphics. So it'll have more pages in it than the previous edition. This will be $100, 164 pages, but it's a big one, 13 inches by 19 inches. So they're collected. These are collecting Sunday strips, like broadsheet sized, basically. And just look at these preview images. These were Sunday strips that were coming out in the newspaper in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And they're amazing. I'm always blown away when I'm reading like Winsor McKay or George Harriman's Sunday strips, and just seeing the things that they did, the innovative things they did with the comics medium when it was still in its infancy. It's really brilliant stuff. I can't believe. And they hold up today, because you'll read them today and be like, wow, like I don't even see cartoonists doing this stuff today. Amazing stuff. Lost Marvels #2. So we have Lost Marvels #1 coming out earlier in the spring of 2025. This is #2 of that series, and this will be Howard Chaykin Volume 1. So I surmise that we'll get a Lost Marvels future volume of Howard Chaykin Volume 2 at least. These are collecting the unsung series of Marvel comics from like the 60s and 70s that are not any of the characters that are owned by Marvel, I don't think, or at least not any of the superheroes. Like these are like the other genres. And this one in particular has Dominic Fortune, trying to see, Monarch, Starstalker, and Phantom Eagle, which are 3 different strips or series that Howard Chaykin did for Marvel. This will be $49.99, 256 pages, full color. And you can see the preview images here. Howard Chaykin, brilliant cartoonist, especially with genre comics, and especially when he was doing like creator-owned stuff. He really went all out with that kind of thing. Walt Disney's Goofy, Super Goof in the Strange Cases of Dr. Cyclops. This is Disney Masters Volume 27, including comics by Paul Murray, Bob Ogle, and Vic Lockman. The Disney Masters line, they have like this. So they have the Don Rosa library, they have the Carl Barks library. The Disney Masters is collecting like a lot of different cartoonists from like Europe and things that are working with these Disney characters. And this one's focused on Goofy. $34.99, 232 pages. 212 pages, sorry. 7.8 inches by 10.6. Buff Soul by Moa Romanova. This one is the title picture of the catalog. And this is the second release with Fantagraphics by Moa Romanova. Previously, you can see the bottom right there. We have Goblin Girl. Still need to pick that up as well. I love Moa Romanova's cartooning style here. I love any cartoonist that has like a signature style you can pick out of a lineup. Great looking stuff. This will be a hardcover, $29.99, 242 pages, full color, 7.6 by 10.3 inches. In the description here is Eisner Award winner Moa Romanova returns with an autobiographical graphic novel about accompanying her rock star bestie on a U.S. tour fueled only by alcohol, drugs, and sex. And here's some preview images of that. Really, really great looking stuff. The Moon Prince by Kevin Fraser Much. Kevin Fraser Much previously released The Rough Pearl with Fantagraphics. This one will be $29.99 paperback, 428 pages, full color, 7.5 by 9 inches. And it looks like just this awesome genre mashing, like adventure comic. It looks really awesome. I am curious about this one. Atlas Comics Library number 8. I said there would be another one. This is Snafu, with featuring stuff by Stan Lee, John Severin, Bill Everett, and Joe Meneely. So Mad Magazine was very popular back then, as I aforementioned, on the backing of Harvey Kurtzman's genius. This was Atlas Comics at the time, Marvel Comics. Their attempt at trying to tap into that same audience with Snafu. So these are all comedic strips. This is like, and they're doing them even like mad style, like with these fake ads and things. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. This will be $39.99, 256 pages, full color, same trim size as all the rest. And you can see some of this, the preview pages there. The Complete Hate Volume 1. So the aforementioned Hate. I said it was released in three volume hardcovers box set. It looks now that we're getting re-released in paperbacks. And this is the first volume collecting the first 15 issues. So I'm assuming there'll be 3 volumes that'll mirror the same contents of the 3 hardcovers. It would only make sense to do that. This will be $29.99, 348 pages, 7 inches by 10.5 inches. And I think I said earlier, Peter Bag's one of my all-time favorite cartoonists, but I had to just reiterate, one of the funniest cartoonists I've ever read. Like, will literally make you laugh out loud, funny, and such a good eye, and finger on the pulse of like pop culture at the time. But these stories still hold up today, and I can't recommend this stuff enough. Just really, really funny comics. My favorite thing is Monsters box set book 1 and 2. So on my channel, like I said, in October, I did 31 days of horror comics. One of those days I did my top 10 favorite horror comics of all time. And my favorite thing is Monsters made that list. Emil Ferris does an amazing job with this. This is 828 pages in this box set. These are just collecting the 2 paperbacks that were previously released and putting them into a nice box set for you. So if you not pick this up, maybe this is the route to go. It'll be $79.99 for both volumes in this box set. But Emil Ferris, look at these preview images. This was all done on notebook paper with ballpoint pen. And it's brilliant artwork, brilliant cartooning, really obliterates what you think of what you should be doing or have to do with the comics medium. Just breaks all the rules in the best way. And I can't recommend it enough. DuckTales, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, Disney Afternoon Adventures, Volume 6. So Fantagraphics, in their long tradition of reprinting the classic Disney comics, have been doing this Disney Afternoon Adventures series. These were previously released in like digest format Disney magazine, Disney Afternoon magazine, I think it was. And I always got them in the grocery store when I was a kid. Really fun stuff. This is volume 6, but they each have a different title, character, or image, but within it, they have all these characters strips involved. So for instance, like the first volume was Darkwing Duck, and then like a Tailspin volume, a Gummy Bears volume, etc. This one, the title is DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. So I'm assuming that whole adaptation is included in here, but also included are stories about the Gummy Bears, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Goof Troop. This will be $34.99, 212 pages, full color, 7.8 by 10.6. Prince Valiant Volume 30. We are in the 1990s with Prince Valiant now. 1995 to 1996. Work by Hal Foster, John Colin Murphy, and Colin Murphy. Hal Foster, one of the all-time great newspaper strip cartoonists. I can't believe we have 30 volumes of these now, but these are massive. They're 10.5 inches by 14.3, $39.99 for this hardcover. And there's 30 volumes of that. It's crazy. And that's actually the last book. I will show you on the catalog here. They do have different sections here. So they have like manga in this section. I'm going to slowly scroll through these. If there's any books that jump out to you, drop them in the comments. I can either talk to you about it a little bit more in the comments, or maybe do a video on it if I own the book. Always looking for recommendations for videos too. If you see a book that grabs your eye, you want to know more about, I can do videos on those. Here are literature and translation. So these are comics that were not originally released in English that have been translated by Fantagraphics to be re-released for the English reading audience. And there's 2 pages of that. Books by Jason, the cartoonist, the mononymous cartoonist. Is that how you say it? Like a one name, a person with one name or whatever. Have released almost everything Jason's ever done. Narratives of displacement and stories of immigration and migration. Mothballs there I did a video on for FANTAGRAPHICS. I don't think I've read any of the other ones, though. Oh, Palestine by Joe Sacco. That's a great one. Black History, Culture, and Fiction. This one is, Bottom Feeders is great. Hip Hop Family Tree is amazing. King is great. About Martin Luther King. And then the other ones I still need to read. LGBTQIA+ authors. These are all included here. Precious Rubbish is one I'm excited about. That comes out in the spring. And then, is it Red Rock Baby Candy? What's that one called? I love that book. Yeah, Red Rock Baby Candy was a great one. I Am Young is good. Oh, the whole Simon Hanselman collection is amazing. And then here's Queer Themes. Mothballs is back. My Favorite Thing is Monsters is back. Katie Skelly's Agency is one that's really good. The Heavy Bright is one I still need to read. And Love and Rockets, of course. The Complete Creepbacks. This is the whole catalog of the cartoonist creepbacks they've done. Horror and Supernatural. A lot of these I've done videos on. Spa. Slay Them All I did. Chuckling What's It. Red Room. And then Web of Horror. I still need to pick up a copy of that too. The whole section I want to pick up copies of. Biography and Memoir. We see some repeats in here. Hogbook and Laser Eyes is really good. I highly recommend that one. And some other ones. More Biography and Memoir. Oh, Chartwell Manor is amazing. As a Cartoonist by Noah Van Sciver. Also a good one. Experimental Comics. Squeak the Mouse is great. That inspired Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons. Gary Panter's Songy Paradise is amazing. Star Seeds. I can't recommend Star Seeds enough. That's so freaking good. I need to do a video on Star Seeds. The E.C. Segar Popeye Sundays strips collections. There's 4 volumes of that so far. The George Harriman Library. We have 5 volumes. The 5th volume coming out in the spring of 2025. Barnaby, the last volume of that one will be coming out soon as well. Here's the Peanuts hardcovers that have all been released. Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. I've done a video on that. That was Comics Library. There's the entire library right there so far. Sunday Press. Great collections there. Classic Comics. EC Artist Library. Here's all of those great books that I talked about earlier. I know I'm going fast, but again, if there's anything you want me to do a video on in the future, let me know. Carl Barks Library. Here's all the books released there. Here's more Duck Comics and Carl Barks stuff in other formats. The Disney Masters Collection. Disney Original Comics. Highly recommend Donald's Happiest Adventures and Mickey's Craziest Adventures and Zombie Coffee. Those are all 3 amazing. Daniel Klaus, one of the all-time greatest cartoonists. All of these books are must-reads. Eleanor Davis, these are all amazing. Peter Bagg, like I said, one of my favorite cartoonists of all time. Love and Rockets, the great American graphic novel. It's been going for 40 years now. And then that's it. So that's it. That's a long video, but a great catalog. A lot of great comics coming out from FANTAGRAPHICS that I'm excited for. Let me know in the comments what you think and what you're excited for from these releases. I want to have a conversation with you guys about that. I have this hair that's like hanging down. I need to fix that. Okay. And comment on the video with, like I said, with any of the books that you're excited to come out, and give the video a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon. All those things help the channel and help support the channel, and things that I will never be appreciative enough for that. But thank you guys. Stay tuned for the next video and keep talking comics.